got to see Vermont in like the 1 week that Izzy got to spend there while it was nice. There's
Yeah.
basically she just lived there in winter, and then I showed up and I was like, I think it's actually pretty good here, and then left, and now we're back. How y'all been?
Good,
Good.
man. Feeling mixed feelings about this whole reopening situation.
I'm feeling all bad,
Yeah.
but Jeff thinks that they will never, even if like everyone dies and hospitals are overwhelmed, he thinks that they're never going to shut it down again.
Really? Why?
Like, just because they have already, uh, like gotten so much pushback. I mean, maybe Cantrell will, because Cantrell, like, to her credit, I know that in the beginning she wasn't great about this, but to her credit, she's actually been good since then, like about being stricter than she has to be, I think. So maybe Cantrell will, but I don't think JBE will, because he's proved that he's a coward and is gonna. I mean, because it just doesn't make any sense what we did. We were like so good and following everything perfectly, and then we were like, okay, it's been too long, even though there's still cases. Like, everything it's like running, it was like we ran like 20 miles in a marathon, and then we were like, that was good, let's stop for those last 6, because it's like we were really so close to having no new cases, and if we had just had no new cases for a few weeks, like, I know I'm not a doctor, but common sense, it's like, okay, no new cases for a few weeks. That's a good time to reopen.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it was never about eliminating cases and just about like mitigating the strain on the healthcare system. Like, it's gonna, because in order for
we only had 11 new cases a few days ago. It wasn't that long,
right? But 11 new cases. I mean, as long as there's travel in between places where it's gonna keep.
Right, we're gonna get new cases.
We're gonna keep getting new cases, and yeah. So it's basically like, I mean, ideally we would have like really rigorous contact tracing or whatever, and then just quarantine the people who test positive or whatever.
Right.
Well, but contact tracing doesn't even like really do anything unless a shitload of people are staying home, because you could get tested and then go you test negative, and then you go outside, and unless a ton of people are staying home, you could just get it again in like a second. So I don't know. It's like, it just proves how beaten down and like willing to completely put up with anything like the American population is, that like they've done nothing and we're like, fuck it.
Yeah. Did you see Texas has 1,800 new cases yesterday?
Jesus.
Yeah, and that borders us.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's worse than. I'm feeling real bad about everything.
Yeah, it's gonna be grim.
But
we knew this was gonna happen. We're finally at that point that we've been talking about for a long ass time, where it's like, oh, eventually they're gonna do nothing about it and reopen.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I kind of thought, the thing is, we were doing such a good job and other states weren't. And we were getting pushback, and John Bell was like doing a really good job of not like just listening to, I mean, even Cassidy was doing a better job than any other Republican I've seen on TV, being like, no, we got to go with the data. Like, and he's a monster. He's a cartoon monster, but our state was doing a better job than most Southern states.
Yeah.
So I don't know why we stopped. You know what I mean? Because it's like, Republicans still hate him. I don't get it. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like all the people that he's trying to please still are going to hate him. And if anything, it would have made sense for him to be spineless the whole time. I just don't know where his spine went.
Yeah.
Is my confusion.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't like, until there's a vaccine or everyone, or like 70% of people are infected or whatever, like, we would have to social distance and keep everything shut down indefinitely, and like that would take a toll on the economy or whatever, and like that's fine, but I mean, you can't expect even the most upstanding Democrat to be fine with shutting down the economy for, a year and a half or whatever.
No.
Yeah. No, but I didn't expect them to at any point. It's just like, it sucks that, especially like as the Sanders campaign like died down, that exact moment coincided with like the hardest thing we've had to deal with.
Where he would have been the only person who would have done a good job.
Well, not just that, but like, I mean, yeah, that too. But like, there was just so much energy behind good ideas. And now it just seems like there's no energy behind good ideas. I mean, there are like cool like strikes happening. I have.
Oh, you have headphones on.
Yeah, I have a lot of hair, so you can't tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it all kind of happened at the same time. Like, it would have been on like the citizens to be like, absolutely not, we're not going to reopen.
Yeah.
But there wasn't even that much of a desire from like citizens. I mean, there is some people, like smart people, but like we're just such a fucking weak people that like accept absolutely anything from our leaders.
Yeah.
Like,
is the reopening going to change anything for you guys? Is Pagoda reopening?
No, I mean, I talked to my boss the other day because she was trying to help figure out how to get coffee to the striking hoppers because she's
nice,
dope as shit.
Yeah.
But she said there's like a possibility the place would open for coffee, but she wouldn't make anyone like she wouldn't put anyone in the position where they got kicked off unemployment if they go to work.
Good.
Yeah.
And I don't think she wants to do that.
Yeah.
Because I don't think she would make any money, but
right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing.
Some people do need work though, because like not everyone that worked there got unemployment, or at least not right away, because of like.
And it's gonna run out
based on like whether or not you worked like the third week of August in 2018.
Right.
Is like if you're in my position where you make more money than you ever have in your entire life sitting on your ass because Bernie Sanders got you $600 a week, or like you're just completely fucked. It's like a coin flip.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, yeah, it makes no sense that if you had just gotten a job and ostensibly need more money, then you get no money because you have had to have been at the job. It's like, okay, so you've been at the job for a while and potentially have money saved, you get the money. But someone who just started yesterday, no, you're going to stay even more broke than, I don't know. It makes sense.
And there's this one dude, and he's like fucking 21. And I will complain about him for a second because he's like one of those people who talks really quietly but really close to your face.
Oh, yeah, you've talked about him before. And like early in the morning, everyone's just like, fuck out of my face.
Yeah, but he's a sweet kid. And he's like 20, 21 or something like that. And he's the head of household for like 5 people. And I'm like, he should get the money.
Right.
Yeah.
But, you know, I talked to him on the phone a few weeks ago and he wasn't getting shit. And I was like, I don't know, man, do you want like $100? Because I'm getting money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he take it?
Yeah. I helped him find some other funds too that I hope he got, but I haven't talked to him in a while.
Are y'all going to change your behavior at all?
What do you mean?
In terms of like seeing friends or whatever? Like obviously
I had a friend over on Friday. My friend Gabby and I distantly drank on my back deck, and I felt even weird about that because like I don't know. I've been reading more and like I've read the same things that y'all have, but in one sense, it's actually really cool that it seems like I thought at the beginning that if you talk to someone that had COVID, like that you immediately got it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, or like the second you had any of it like on your skin, then you had it. But it actually is like, okay, if someone's infected and they cough 20 feet away from you, like, and you're passing them, or even if you're passing them 3 feet away, like, it's not like it's not like the second it comes in contact with you, you have it. You need like you said earlier when we did this like 2 months ago, like you need a lot of the virus to get sick. So, and if you wear face masks, if you're outside, not in recycled air, like it does actually seem like that stuff does matter. And a lot of people were saying that it didn't matter, like outside or inside doesn't matter, because I think people were just afraid of giving any concessions.
Right.
But I think that like if you hang out outdoors, distance with masks on, or even without masks on, if you're actually distancing and not like touching the same things, not, caving in and hugging each other, like I actually do think it's okay to hang out like that.
Yeah,
but,
it really seems like enclosed spaces are the thing where like like there's people at a restaurant, one infected person at a restaurant, and then like 2 weeks later 85% of them have it. It's just like because they're
and
just,
it's like the side of the restaurant that the certain AC vent was on, the infected. Yeah, it's like it's extremely connected to.
I'm just picturing all the times I've like straight up like licked a plate at a restaurant. Like, damn, that was good.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, that's done. I guess you can't do that. I mean, cups.
I'm also really.
Dude, I've seen also after like working in restaurants, I know how lazy some dishwashers are.
Yeah.
Like, not like they're lazy. They're in that position because they're lazy or whatever. I've just seen people like not wash a dish and be like, it's clean.
Yeah.
And like every restaurant, there's at least someone who's like pulling that kind of shit.
Right. Yeah. I'm not planning on going to any bars or restaurants, but the distance hangout outside, I think.
Are bars open?
I have no idea, honestly. I have no idea. I know restaurants are like 25% capacity or whatever, and they just opened up, like they just made it easier to have outside service.
Well, it's only going to be the restaurants that like can either get away with not actually having 25% of their customers, or like already had such a ridiculous profit margin that they can make money with a quarter of their business.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I just feel like if you are open, you're probably not going to be that strict about the 25% thing.
Yeah.
Or you don't really even need to be open because you're extremely rich.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like a lot of the people pushing to reopen, like small businesses that actually depend on income, know that 25% capacity is just losing money. Like right now, I mean, to be fair, maybe they would, I don't know. It's just like running a business is so crazy, and I cannot imagine wanting to do it unless, because it just takes so long to actually make money. And I can't imagine, like, with all the overhead. Now, I guess they're paying rent on a space. I mean, I guess if you're paying rent on a space and making no income, then being open would be better. But I feel like at 25% capacity, you're paying even more because you're paying people at least an hourly rate to be there. I don't know.
Man, I just spilled an entire smoothie on my lap.
Nice. You want to go take care of that?
No, I just ate it off my lap.
Oh, that's
kind
good.
of.
All right,
yeah.
Cool. I'm drinking that fluffy coffee. Have y'all seen that on TikTok?
Oh, whipped
that
coffee?
shit is disgusting.
I've never.
So
dude, Izzy keeps making it, and she's like, "This time it's gonna be good. This time you won't throw up." I almost threw up the first time.
Jeff hates it. I love it. I think it's so good, and I love it.
How do you make it?
I think it's just for dumb girls.
First of all, I love the texture. It's instant coffee and sugar, and then a little bit of water, and then you just whip that with like a whisk, and then once it's super fluffy, you add milk to it.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Interesting. I love instant coffee.
Me too. It reminds me of London, because when I went to London, everyone has instant stuff, and
that's how it was in Argentina too.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I think a ton of places it's like that. Israel, everyone drinks instant coffee.
Yeah. I mean, we were in a dorm, so all the other kids in the dorm.
I got the report directly from Israel. I'm doing it wrong.
Yeah, I got really drunk on Friday, and yesterday I was more hungover than I've been since I was a child, and it was so awful. Yeah, it was. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna drink unless it's a special occasion. I guess seeing Gabby and hanging out was a special occasion, but even more special than that.
Yeah. How was your sobriety adventure so far?
I'm gonna keep being weed edge, I think, except for special occasions. I mean, if I want to drink on a weekend, I think my new rule is while bars are still closed, I'm not gonna drink unless it's like a Friday or Saturday and I want to. But just because I can, I'm not going to. Last night I was hungover, so I didn't. I also don't want to drink through hangovers anymore because I think that's why I developed alcoholism. Was just constantly
that's
trying
the way to do it. It's
just always being
once
hungover or drunk.
Once it's medicine, you fucked up.
But like once I got over the physical addiction to alcohol, like it's kind of insane how I really don't want it.
Yep.
It's kind of great. I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely more addicted to weed than I've ever been. Like at like 6 p.m. I'm like, why am I not high? But I don't feel like shit the day after being high. Right. So I'm like, well, at least I replaced it with an addiction that doesn't make me miserable all the time.
Yeah. Friday night I had 3 drinks. Last night I had 1 drink. It's like the first time in my entire life I've had 1 drink. Unconsciously. It's like 1 drink is the most pointless thing in the world to me.
Yeah.
But same. I did it. It's pretty weird. How about you, Benjamin? You getting fucked up?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't been like drunk at all.
Yeah.
Since like towards the beginning of the like lockdown or whatever. Right. But I don't know. I only ever like got drunk on like the weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, not really.
I do miss getting drunk on the weekends.
Oh shit, we made pina coladas though last night. That was fucking delicious, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, all drinks should just be a pina colada. It's so good.
Yeah, I mean, my impulses haven't completely gone away because on Friday we ordered tacos from Galaxy, and we got and you can order like margaritas, and so we each ordered a margarita, and I was like, should we just get a half gallon? And Susanna's like, you want 64 ounces of margarita? And I was like, well, when you put it that way, you know. So yeah, but I would have if she hadn't said anything.
I mean, that's not that much. That's 4 drinks a person, and that's if they're 8-ounce drinks, and most people pour. See, I am like, and also most people would drink a 16-ounce drink, so that's only 4 drinks total. That's not that big.
Yeah. Anyway. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess when you.
I think you should have.
Well, she would have had 1.
Yeah. So. Okay. So then you would have had.
I would have had
margaritas.
Yeah.
Man, when I was working at Aiden Gill and I was thinner than I've ever been in my entire life, because all I did was drink and eat like 1 meal a day because Juan's Flying Burrito was next door. I would drink almost every lunch break, and I never exercised, and my skin looked great, and I was 130 pounds, and I smoked 30 cigarettes a day, and I drank margaritas for lunch every day. It was insane.
I don't understand how your teeth are so white after you're smoking. You have good teeth. How did you do that?
Thank you. Well, they've gotten whiter and less stained since I stopped.
Yeah.
And I also floss and brush my teeth twice a day. But I guess most people besides my husband do that.
Man, I got these big ass chompers, like these huge fucking teeth.
You got good teeth.
And I had when I was smoking cigarettes, I didn't realize that it wasn't just how my teeth were.
Yeah, you had a black stain down the middle.
I had like a little line on each of the front too, and then I stopped smoking and it went away, and I was like, oh, I thought that was just my teeth.
Yeah.
No,
like I thought I had like an indent or some shit, but like nope, that's just tobacco. Just constantly burned into my face.
I have like a little brown stain in between my 2 front teeth that's getting a little bit better, but it was kind of gross.
Yeah.
Also,
smoking's the grossest one because like you do it with your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I forgot to say, so Jeff went out on Friday. I love my husband and we're doing well, but it is so funny how he is the biggest scold in the world until he wants to do something. Like I asked if I could do acid with Benjamin, which I understand it's a global pandemic, but I just wanted to do acid with my friend. And we were going to stay outside, and we got into this like screaming match about how, you know, blah, 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 and taking it seriously, and didn't think we would actually distance. And to be fair, this was like over a month ago or something. So I feel like, or it was like a month ago. So I feel like we also were like a little bit more freaked out. I don't know. I mean, it's still just as scary, but it was 50% of the time into lockdown.
We're doing the thing right now that like everyone's doing. Like it's seeping into our brains. Like it was scarier then, and it's like nothing's changed.
No, nothing's changed, but like we're more used to it now. So like I guess I'm less freaked out by it the same way you would be if like it was the beginning of the apocalypse and like some of your family was still alive. Once they're all dead, you're like, it's still just as scary, but I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I love when you jump to extremes for examples.
I know. I'm just like, because like you wouldn't be freaked out.
Yeah, you know, it's like your dead family, kind of. It's kind of like if mom died in frame.
I don't know. I'm like, anyway, he yelled at me, but then as soon as his friends wanted to hang out in the backyard, it's okay for me to have friends over in the backyard.
Right.
Wait, am I not Jeff's friend?
No, you are, but he doesn't want to do acid.
Yeah.
Actually, I think he would want to do acid, but I don't know how much acid you have.
It would kill him.
It would kill him. I haven't done acid in so long, and it almost killed me. I'm so excited to trip again, though.
Yeah, no, I'm down. Me and Izzy definitely gotta like move all our shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we're like, it's a very slow process, which is the benefit of having like access to a place 1 block away for like the last month that you're living at a place. You can move shit slow, but it's like, well, and like we don't want to rent a truck because pandemic. I don't know. Yeah. It's all kind of complicated, but I just can't think of. I can't. Izzy would be very mad if I was like, I know I was gonna move the bed, but I can't. I can't be around our neighbors right now because I might take my clothes off.
I think I've mentioned this on an early episode, but one of the funniest and most evil things I've ever seen was Caitlin Marone trying to convince Jeff Gaucher that he was dead while he was on mushrooms.
On mushrooms on New Year's.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was like the worst New Year's ever.
Jeff seemed to have a great time.
Jeff was having a great time. He always trips so much harder than I do. If he's just in the same room as shrooms, he trips his little dick. Not little dick. I meant like. He does not have a little dick, but you know,
he trips his medium dick off.
He trips his medium-sized dick off. But I have to eat a whole eighth to like see the wall move for a second. So that's actually sometimes true and sometimes not.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll eat a lot of shrooms because I feel like I need to trip at all, and then I'll like be uncomfortably high. And then sometimes I'll eat like 2 grams and nothing will happen to me. And all my friends are, you know, their faces are melting off.
I think there's like this weird thing too, where it's like you eat a bunch and then you're like used to it. So you're like, okay, I've had these fucking teenage realizations before.
Right.
And then you're like, I have this under control. And then if you don't take enough, you don't get to that like breakthrough point. So you're just kind of anxious, which feels like tripping.
Yeah. I hate the anxiety of not tripping enough. I'd rather have a bad trip where I'm too high than just like feel that like when I take it, I have like 3, I have like a tiny amount left and I was going to take them, but it's not enough to really trip. So I'll just yawn for 3 hours and like be weird.
Dude, why does it make you yawn?
It makes you yawn, and it's the worst kind of yawn because there's no satisfaction. It's like oxygen hell.
Yeah.
You're just, or oxygen purgatory rather, because you can never get a full breath, which also gives you even more anxiety right now because
last time I ate like a shitload of shrooms was before like the Stone versus Drunk versus me being on shrooms show. Oh, you guys just froze for a sec. And I kept yawning, and someone was like, "Are you tired?" And I was like, "No, I think I'm scared."
Man, I think I'm going to take the rest of those shrooms right now.
All right.
Because they're just sitting there. Okay. Yeah. And there's no good time.
That's right. No time like the present.
So wait, Benjamin, explain for people that don't know, for the 2 listeners we have that aren't in DSA, about like the strike going on and how and what y'all are doing like with the striking hoppers.
Well, there's really no like formal thing happening. It's just like general strike support.
Mhm.
So I will say that like they're not real. They're like different organizations that are like bringing food or like water and coffee to the people. Like there's a strike fund that the hoppers have set up, but it's really like it's just them doing it. There's really no organization running it, and it's a wildcat strike, so there's not like a union.
Right.
But basically, sanitation workers in New Orleans are extremely exploited and underpaid and work in dangerous conditions where they end up like. Are you laughing at Izzy trying to crawl underneath the camera?
Yeah, who does she think is gonna see her?
I have no idea.
That was pretty good.
I'm just gonna run out there and follow her. Anyway, yeah, they're like hydraulic fluid like leaks on the. So when I say hoppers, it's like the people who like hop on and off the back of the truck loading the garbage in. So it's like just those people are on strike. The drivers aren't, because it's sort of set up that like the company tries to keep the drivers happy so they aren't like with the hoppers, like a bunch of shit like that. But they get paid like 10.25 an hour. A lot of the time they'll get their like hours docked off their paycheck with absolutely like no explanation of how that happened. Sometimes if the truck's like isn't going to make it to the place where they drop off the trash on time, they'll just leave the hoppers wherever the fuck they are and won't bring them back to their cars.
Jesus
and shit.
Christ.
Right now, they're not getting like any hazard pay or PPE from the company, even though they're like about as at risk as you could possibly be during this pandemic. So yeah, they're on strike asking for like just very modest hazard pay increases, fixing the trucks so they don't like leak hydraulic fluid on them, giving them like PPE. It's just basic stuff that totally needs to happen.
It's also like I've seen two different news articles about it, and it was like, man, I've seen two different news articles about it, and one was saying that like this metro-wide is contracted out by the city, so they're not forced to pay a living wage, whereas if they were working for the city, or I guess what was it?
Yeah, the living wage ordinance that the city has.
Yeah, so they're not forced to follow that. So whereas like other things that were like contracted out to private entities or are now being run by private entities still follow certain rules, but for whatever reason, like garbage collectors don't have to do that. I don't know why. Or sanitation like companies don't have to do that for their employees, but like just because charter schools are essentially privately run, they still have to function as public. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. Like as much as I hate charter schools, they can't just be like, we're not going to get free school anymore. Sorry, you know what I mean? Like
right. Well, I mean, I think that's the one of the million things wrong with all these like private public partnership things.
Yeah, exactly.
There ends up being these like double standards where like sometimes it functions like closer to a public entity, and even in that case, most of the time someone's just making money that they shouldn't really be allowed to make.
Right, but there's certain things that are kept in place to like maintain the basic, because like it's a public good. So when you take out the public, that if you take out like the accessibility to it, then like we're losing a necessary public good that makes us all that makes society function. So like and then the Metro-wide said that they were paying. Okay, there was one news article that said that they were paying the prison release people, the people that they got to work in place of the hoppers that are on strike. One of them interviewed the company employing them, this company that like I guess functions to contract out this work. So I think they said that they were paying them $9.25 an hour, but most of that, like 64% of each $9.25 an hour that they make goes to the company that like essentially acts as their like employers, like
Oh yeah,
the
it's just slavery. It's like
it is, but I'm very curious, like just for the sake of like accuracy, because like one article said they're being paid $1.25 an hour by Metro Wide, but then another one said that Metro Wide is paying someone $9.25 an hour, and then they're only seeing like $1.25 of it, basically.
yeah, there's some law that basically says if you're in prison, you can only get paid a certain percentage of what that job would actually be, even if it's like work release or something like that. Um, but yeah, whoever is like basically making them do that work is just pocketing the cash, which isn't even that much cash, really.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's.
But what I was gonna say about the like private public partnership thing is like there is that double standard where sometimes it functions closer to like you know a functioning public utility or like just a need that the community has and it's held to certain standards and then like in this case it's a bunch of black dudes most of whom who have like been to prison before and they just get completely fucked over.
Yeah.
So it's just it's a clear double standard and yeah. Support the strike. It couldn't be like more of a like slam dunk. Right now, Michael is going to pee. Mary Devon is just whisking eggs. Now she's pouring the eggs all over herself. She's covered in egg yolk. It's just running down her shirt. The cats are now feasting off of Mary Devon's egg.
Oh wait, it's my fluffy coffee.
You're making more of the disgusting shit.
I'm making more fluffy coffee. I love it, man. The funny when you said it's something for girls. It reminded me of the funniest line I've seen in a movie or a show, which is in Dead to Me, that Christina Applegate and Linda Cardellini show on Netflix. So good. Anyway, they've buried a body.
I used to have such a little kid boner for Christina Applegate. Oh my god!
Yeah,
when I was like
did.
When I was like 6.
Yeah,
it's like it's inappropriate to even think about. Like, yeah, that name I just shouldn't hear it.
I know it's also like the hottest name ever. It's like such a stage name. But anyway, Christina Applegate and Linda Cardellini. Oh yeah. They've just killed a man, and Christina Applegate's like trying to talk her friend out of like delusion, and she's like, yeah, we're not in some Disney fairy tale, we're in the movie Scarface. And the friend's like, I've never seen Scarface, and she's like, yeah, no girls have, but I know what happens. And it's very funny because I've also never seen Scarface.
Oh, dude, one of the all-time great Onion headlines was Area Girlfriend hasn't seen Apocalypse Now.
I also have not seen Apocalypse Now, but I've never seen any movies.
Neither has Izzy.
We just watched Hearts of Darkness.
Izzy only likes movies either where like it's a very accurate like anti-colonial take on like fucked up power dynamics, or it's a movie where just people are kind of nice to each other the whole time.
I'm very happy that I liked a good movie. I like Death of Stalin.
I still haven't seen it. What is it? I haven't heard anything about it.
It's just literally about Stalin dying, but about the power grab from his inferiors and how they all have to pretend like they aren't very happy that he's dead. Mm-hmm. And everyone in it's super funny. Like Steve Buscemi's Nikita Khrushchev, and then I don't know who Beria is, but anyway, it's just really, really funny, and the tone is like unlike anything I've seen. But it's the same people who did Veep, right, Benjamin?
Yeah, it's Armando Iannucci. Have you seen In the Loop? In the Loop is so fucking good.
I've never seen it.
It's really good. Like Veep is a remake of In the Loop, right?
I mean, it's styled the same way, but Iannucci is fucking great. I saw his new show though. It's terrible. The like space one.
Oh, is that him?
Yeah, it's
man, I hated
it's not good.
Yeah, we stopped watching.
Yeah, I watched like a couple of episodes and I was like, I can't believe this dude made this.
Oh, it's a remake of The Thick of It. What are we talking about?
Armando Iannucci has some new like space show.
With Hugh
Also,
Laurie.
he was like he came out like against Corbyn, so fuck him.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still make good stuff.
No, yeah, I mean like Death of Stalin and The Loop are like some of the funniest things made in the past like 20 years.
Okay. I'm gonna eat this much mushrooms. Do y'all think it's gonna do anything? Hold on.
Parody.
Those look like bones in a cartoon.
They look like bones.
Wait, hold it in your palm like this. You'll probably feel a little just good and high, and like, I bet you'll be like more in tune with, like Jeff's neuroses.
It's so hot outside. I was gonna go for a walk, but I think I have to wait till it's dark.
Yeah, it's nice. Dude, there were so many people at the bayou yesterday. Me and Izzy went for a walk, and it was like there was like a full-on like party there.
Oh yeah, people have been having full-on parties throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
People don't give a fuck about this.
And here's what I'll say. And okay, this is not meant to say you shouldn't give a fuck, but like I think some people think that if you have a party that it means that everyone's gonna get sick. And one thing that is true, like it is different than it was in the beginning in that like there are fewer cases now. So it is less likely momentarily because people have not been gathering and have not been going to school and have not been going to work. Like, and New Orleans is actually doing a better job than most cities are. We're very good at not going to work. But like I think on May 13th or May whatever, Jeff told me that we, out of all the other cities, had fewer people driving relative to what we had in March on that specific day than any other city. Anyway, that had been on lockdown. Like, it is true that there's still a lower chance that you're going to get COVID than you aren't at any given time. So, like, I don't know. I feel like there's like two camps, and people are either like, if you do anything, then you're a monster. And I definitely don't think people should be having parties. I think it's a very bad idea. And I think if everyone had parties, then we would all get it. But because most people are staying home, you're actually probably not going to get sick if you have a party at the bayou. You shouldn't do it.
It's a fucking tacky look too, though.
Yeah,
like,
it looks.
Feel like this is my space, and we can like. There's like a dude, like a giant like flag on a raft playing a tuba like next to a crowd of like 45 people.
It sends a message.
You look like such a fucking tool.
Yeah, it sends a message that you don't care or that you're being defiant and that you don't take it seriously. There's also a ton of kids getting fucked up at the lake. Every time I jog, I can tell that they're looking at me like I'm also at an age where I can't tell if young men are looking at me like I want to fuck you or like you're a scary mom and I'm afraid that you're going to get mad at me because I jog around like Pontchartrain.
Dude, the intersection of that is the hot spot. You just got to stay there.
I've just like, whenever I jog at night, because it's so hot now that I have been running at night, and which I just realized I'm probably going to do tonight slightly on mushrooms, which is probably a terrible idea. But there's always parties, and it's mostly like either college or high school age like boys who are at the lake in their stupid trucks like on top of each other. It's also so funny that guys who are traditionally afraid to be like, or at least outwardly afraid to be close to their male friends, have now taken the position that it's actually gay to be too far away from your male friend. And the closer that you are, the least gay it is. It's actually the least gay thing you can do right now.
Fuck somebody right in the ass.
Yeah, fuck your bro in his butt while making out with him, because that's how much you do not care about COVID, according to how close they all are. Like, I swear to God, they're on fucking top of each other.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen straight men so close to each other as they are now at Lake Pontchartrain. But the other day I was passing and I turned off my music because I was just like, I want to see if they say anything, like, because I was within earshot and they were looking at me like, okay, like they were looking at me skeptically. I'm like, y'all the ones having a party. Maybe they had just been bitched out by another lady in her 30s. But
I think like, almost definitely this is mostly in your head.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but I turned off my music and they didn't say anything. They completely stopped talking until I was out of earshot.
They were probably...
They were ashamed. They know that they're doing the wrong thing.
They were probably like going to harass, like, I don't know, saying they were probably talking about your body, most likely.
I mean, maybe, but wait 1 second. Maybe, but I also think
like, not that that's good, but like, you know,
yeah, I just think that they were doing the wrong thing and they were ashamed, and like I definitely feel like, I don't know, but I was also out, so how do they know that I was judging them? I mean, I was. Maybe I looked at them scornfully.
I'm glad we hashed that out. I'm glad.
Yeah. You can cut it. Sorry.
No. I'm kidding. Do you wear a mask when you run?
No, I think that's so stupid.
Yeah, me neither.
I think have you been running, Michael?
No, I've just been biking a lot.
It's so stupid to wear a mask when you run and bike, and fuck everyone who thinks that you should just wants to be a cop and just should admit that they love the cops.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's completely pointless. And the only reason that you should do it is because you're afraid of someone thinking that you don't take it seriously, but it has nothing to do with anything. Like, no one is getting this by passing someone 10 feet away when you're both fucking running. That's not how it's translated.
There was a distance protest about the like EHA campaign, the like trying to get money from the convention center from their rainy day fund. Mm-hmm. They've been hoarding and stealing from the like service industry for years. Greedy pieces of shit.
Oh, you mean their $0.6 billion war chest that is doing nothing?
Yes. Yeah. Exactly that. That I think some of it might have gone to like bribe an airway, but maybe bleep that. I don't know. Fuck it, leave it in.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly some of that money disappeared for a bribe. Allegedly.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a protest, and one of the cops. It was only for a second, but. He had a mask on, but he only had it over his nose, and his eyes and his mouth was out. Like, I think he was like itching or something, but I looked over at it, just completely covering his eyes and his nose. But that's like
very
mouth,
good.
Cop.
I'm just also so sick of people complaining that people are like, oh, I saw this lady in the grocery store with a mask around her chin, and I'm like, bitch, I'm like, okay, people have to scratch their face, okay? Yes, some people are going to wear a mask and then smoke a cigarette because they're not going to not be addicted to cigarettes. Like, also, bitch, you're outside too. Like, if you can see them doing that, then you're also outside. Also, other people have to go to the grocery store. Other people have to go for a fucking walk. Like, other people want to go where you want to go. And I just feel like being like, oh, this person... I decided to go out for an unnecessary activity, but this person didn't follow the rules even worse than I didn't by also going out. It's like, you're a cop. You just want to be a cop. Like, I understand.
The only difference, or the only time that, I don't know. I would never like call the cops on them, but like large gatherings is like.
No, large gatherings is totally different. Like, I don't feel the scorn that some people feel because honestly, our local officials and our obviously national like leadership is so bad that I don't know why we're expecting average people who probably don't really have any like ill intent. Like, also, I'm babbling because I'm like, I have 3 thoughts at once, but I'm also getting annoyed with all these people online who keep on talking about white people, because white people are definitely doing a terrible job, but black people are too. It's just something that white people say because we're so afraid to even through generalization criticize a black person for ever doing anything wrong that we have to pretend like no black person has ever violated a social distancing rule in their lives. So like I see people in New Orleans like, typical, I saw a white lady at Rouse's who was, you know, blah, 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 or I saw a white person doing this. And I'm like, okay, New Orleans is a 60% black city. Obviously, the black people and the white people are both equally breaking the fucking rules. Like, this is just, it's just the dumbest, most liberal white guilt fake discourse, because it's like, I'm a good white person. I only criticize white people. It's like, just don't bring up, like, there's no, the idea that like.
You can just say a lady.
Yeah, you can just say a lady, but like they want to make it this thing of like, I'm a good white person criticizing the bad white people. And I don't even think that there's a trend for it to be white people who are visiting their families are having gatherings more. Like, I think that's been pretty even from what I've seen. It really has been. Like, in Lakeview, obviously it's all white people because they're all white Republican idiots. But like on the Bayou, I would say it's been pretty 50-50 as to who's breaking social distancing rules. And the thing is, you don't have to be perfect to like deserve to not get COVID. Like, the reason that they have to say that is because their whole ideology flows to this point of like, if you don't agree with me, you deserve to die. The same way they're like, oh, if you voted for Trump, then you deserve to die. If you live in a red state, then you suck. They have to say it's white people because they don't want to admit that, like, yes, people will break rules, and not everyone who breaks a rule deserves to die. Like, I've seen people rejoicing in real people, not politicians, real people getting COVID and dying because they had bad politics.
Right.
Like, I've seen that on my own Facebook, people posting the day a woman dies, a screenshot of her saying that it was a hoax. I'm like, y'all are awful. I cannot believe how barbaric we're being to each other. I don't care if you're a fucking Republican. I don't think that you deserve to die of COVID. I don't care if you went and visited your aunt and like, you don't deserve to be shamed when she dies. Like, that's horrible. People are being horrible. Anyway. So yeah, that's my.
No, I mean, and it's like, it's all like super pronounced right now, but that shit's been going on for so long with like gun deaths and shit like that too. It's like, oh, that's what you get for having a gun.
Right.
Exactly. It's like, no, someone died.
That's not good.
No, it's not good. And like, even if someone's a fucking asshole, like if my stupid cousins who were jokingly coughing on us, like when we went to have my grandmother's, car honking birthday party for her 90th, like my Uncle Tommy kept on getting too close to me. Like, he like lives in Metairie and is a stupid man who lives in Metairie and voted for Donald Trump. But like, I don't want him to die of COVID. And I would be pretty upset if someone was like, oh, Tommy was saying this was a hoax and now he's dead. Got him. It's like, fuck you. Also, this is a fucking got him. This is a pandemic. So if he's dead, it means that the infection's getting worse and you're closer to being dead. So you're a stupid asshole. Like, the only person who we should hope dies from this is Donald Trump. But I can
think of some other ones.
Yeah, I have like a list. But, like,
you have a list of people that you want to satire?
The only person that I personally, the only people that I parody want to die from this are like people who are actively making policy that's killing people that know exactly, like.
Also, people who I think should have my exact political beliefs, but are like liberal instead.
Yeah.
I want them to die of parody whatever, but especially if they're my friends.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought I was not going to talk about COVID this whole time.
Yeah, well, there's plenty we could talk about that isn't COVID. We could talk about the beautiful weather.
Married big ass tweet.
Oh yeah, we could talk about my viral tweet that was not even very good.
It was a mediocre tweet. I probably wouldn't have liked it if I didn't want to seem like a dick for not liking your big ass tweet.
Yeah, you have tweeted many more worthy tweets, but it's still a perfectly good tweet.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It has 221,000 likes. I just checked. It's insane. Yeah, and only 582 replies, which is still a lot. But I already had my settings so that I only get notifications from people I follow. So it really wasn't that bad. But the only thing that sucks is that new people followed me, and like I referred to the people that replied to my tweet that said very earnestly, I also use Twitter for porn.
That was so funny.
The tweet, I know, I loved that. So the tweet is just saying, like, some people use Twitter like a diary and some people think it's a news website, and then that causes conflict. It was the dumbest tweet in the world. And then, but Sarah Cooper, who has 555,000 Twitter followers, retweeted it, which is how it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Dan Sheehan did too. And Dan Sheehan has like 30,000 Twitter followers. Right. So at first he did, and it got some interaction. And then overnight, Sarah Cooper did. And so I woke up and I looked at my phone. And when your tweet goes viral, Twitter gives you one notification that just says you have too many notifications, and that Lauren Duca had followed me. who is just some stupid bitch who wrote a book about Twitter and who teaches a college class about yelling at Tucker Carlson. But she's the one. Tucker Carlson was an asshole to her, but she's just kind of a stupid bitch. But she follows me now. Hello, Lauren Duca.
How funny would it be if she was just like a gung ho listener, like she just listened to all the back episodes, and then this comes
out. I had followed her from like 2016, and I didn't know that I still followed her. That's why I got a notification when she did. But I was like, whoa, a big account follows me. Anyway. So people followed me thinking that I guess I wasn't just a mean person that tweeted mean things. And so I tweeted afterwards that I apologized to the freaky little weirdo community for erasing them by not mentioning them and as people who watch porn on Twitter. And someone responded, let me find this idiot's response. Hold on.
How would you not take freaky little weirdo community as like a term of endearment?
Yeah. Also, I literally paid to jerk off on OnlyFans from an account I found on Twitter.
Dude, I want to talk about this also, but keep going.
So this guy, Twitter is a great hub for SWers, sex workers. Also, he had enough characters. He could have just said sex workers to earn a living and semi-vet clients. I also wouldn't call these peeps weirdos. We all have our oddities. And then he did a bunch of little emojis with the solidarity fist.
Mm-hmm.
And I just said, talking about the jerkers, not the jerkies. But I also, it's like, I think it's okay to call people freaky little weirdos. That's not a slur. Like, that's not even a mean thing to say. It's like a cute thing.
Yeah.
That's adorable. Like, if could anyone really be offended if like someone found your porn and they were like, look at you freaky little weirdo? It's like saying like, you dog, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. I want to recap what you told us about your OnlyFans thing. And then you can correct me after I say it, but it's very funny to me. Okay. So my understanding is you were horny.
Wait, can I back it up?
Yeah.
Just for a second. Did you really not know that there was like a ton of porn on Twitter?
No, I knew that there was porn on Twitter. I just didn't. But people responded to say they specifically use Twitter for porn. Yeah. I don't use Twitter for porn. Like, I would say that I often encounter porn on Twitter and porn accounts. I've interacted with porn accounts, but I don't use Twitter for that.
That was some politicking right there.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I just mean like I've interacted, like they've like porn people have responded to me and I've interacted with them.
Yeah, lots of leftists follow sex workers and they show up in your feed all the time. So you were horny, and okay, so being on Twitter in our milieu is like people are constantly retweeting like viral tweets from sex workers, and then those people have OnlyFans accounts, and like but you were horny. You searched OnlyFans. You just searched that term. And then you clicked on the first person who didn't look like you.
Yes.
And just subscribed. It's like you didn't shop around. It was just like you went to the grocery store for like a steak, and then you like bought a pack of gum because it was right there. Like, what? Is it even a good one? It
was good. It was fine. I was like at the point. I was like really hungover, and I just needed to, you understand.
Bust.
I just needed to, I felt so bad. And I'd actually been using my vibrator on my skull all day. Because the only way that I did not have a headache was when my Hitachi magic wand was hurting my brain.
Right.
Like it was jostling my brain around in my skull. And that was the only relief that I got. And then eventually I was like, oh man, maybe I should use this on my genitals.
Oh wait, dude. Remake of I know it was like an actually fucked up story of what really happened, but the plot of the movie Deep Throat is that a lady has a clit in the back of her throat. Woke reboot, lady's got a clit in her brain.
Mine 6.
Anyway. And then I forgot what I was so I don't know if I want to admit this. I can't believe I'm going to admit this. I paid to see Caroline Calloway's OnlyFans.
Nice.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
And she charges way too much money.
Yeah.
So I had like,
I'm just shocking that she would not fulfill her obligations to people who had given her money.
She dresses as literary characters.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and she dresses as Dagny Taggart from Atlas Shrugged. She dresses as an Ayn Rand novel. Anyway, she's an absolute disaster, and she also is like the most sexless person in the world. Like, she's physically attractive, but like everything she does to try to look sexy is just gross because she looks like she doesn't know what sex is and someone's forcing her to be there. So it's like really gross. Anyway, so that was my only introduction to OnlyFans because I had to see. It wasn't that I wanted to see her naked. I wanted to see how bad she was at it. And I have all this extra money right now. I promise I'm also donating the stuff. But I spent $50 to see Caroline Calloway.
$50.
I did. I spent too much money. I unsubscribed. I just had to see it.
I had no idea that she was charging that much. That's incredible.
Yeah. And everyone else who's better at it charges like $5 or $10
right.
a month.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's... like the person I followed after that. So then I didn't know how to find other accounts because all the Discover accounts are like really porny.
Right.
And I don't like it when I don't like porny porn. Like I don't like
nobody does.
Yeah. And they're all very porny porn. So I wanted something that just looked more like a normal person who was just nude. Anyway. So, and also if Captain Praxis on Twitter is listening, I am sorry because I had actually DM'd with her about how we hate Johns on Twitter. So I guess I am a John.
You're a John, dude.
Yeah. Although I kind of feel like the really gross people are the ones who like actually interact with the, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's the parasocial element of OnlyFans can be really gnarly and weird.
And I don't think I'm going to use it that much. I feel like I mostly use my brain to masturbate now because I've completely given up on free porn because I think it's evil.
Mm-hmm.
Too many people have tweeted that their rape was on Pornhub for me to ever look at free porn ever again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm like, I also think there's something, if it all, I don't know, if I've trained my brain to just masturbate from a nude person, I feel like that's pretty good. Like I'm walking back a lot of damage because there was a time when I had to think about the worst possible thing to come. I'm like, if I can just look at someone touch their boobs and get off on that, then I've done a pretty good job. Of,
yeah,
like,
I'm impressed because you've mentioned your
Yeah, it got.
I think that's why, like, especially if you don't like have a Twitter for porn, it's hot. Is because like you're just sort of like looking around, and then you're like, oh, this person's a little bit naked, and then your friends like, well, there's a little bit more. They're naked and moving around.
Yeah,
and you're like, whoa.
It's like
it's like.
Yeah, it's like the getting into a really cold pool the pussy way or whatever, where you just like just one little toe at a time or whatever. It's really easy to gradually accidentally get horny on Twitter.
Yeah,
because it's way too easy to like dive into the ocean and swim with the sharks now. It's like, it's fun to go back to.
A bra strap.
Yes. What? Crazy.
Yeah.
Remember that time like a year ago I texted you all that picture of a knot in a tree that looked like a butt, and I was like, I need to
about to risk it all.
Dive dick first into a wood chipper.
Yeah. Woof.
Are you getting yawny?
No, burpee.
Oh.
Okay, I need to stop looking at my phone. Sorry.
Were you gonna say something, or were you just
making
noise?
I forgot.
Michael, you writing more now that you have to? Well, I guess your life hasn't changed. I keep asking, like, and then I remember who you are, and I'm like, oh, okay, this was already his life.
Yeah, I am writing more than I ever have, ever. So that's been nice. But I think that's also just a consequence of getting like older and kind of figuring out how my brain works and how to trick myself into doing things that I don't want to do. But and it's been fun for the first time in a long time. Also, if
how's that weird? Can you talk about that research chemical thing
oh yeah,
and the process of felonies or whatever?
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, this is all satire, obviously, but I always am researching like, you know, supplements and nootropics or whatever, and it's 99% of it is bullshit, and every once in a while I'll stumble upon something that is not bullshit. Who's that?
I'm trying to talk to Jeff, and he's mad at me for talking to him during my podcast, I think. Okay. Keep on going.
What were you going to say to him?
He just got back from Lowe's.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there's a very mild stimulant that you can get that's completely unscheduled and unregulated. So it's really like relatively easy to get. All you have to do is tell the distributor that you are a scientist and convince them that you are a scientist, like a researcher or whatever, because they just to cover their own ass legally. Like they're not breaking a law by sending it to me, but like they don't want me to like give myself a heart attack and then sue them or whatever. And so there's like this form that you have to fill out that takes an hour. So I just like very, very meticulously pretended to be a pharmaceutical researcher, and they bought it. So then I bought it, and it's pretty nice. I take a low dose, like maybe once or twice a week. Like I don't want to. Is MD frozen, or is she just disapproving?
Nope.
Didn't she not like she was unblinking for a long time?
I was resting my eyes, but I'm listening.
So you might have been dead. But anyway, it's like you know, it's just like it's a wakefulness promoting agent, and there's like a little tiny bit of euphoria, but mostly it's just like to keep me from passing out.
What's it called again?
This is there's no like single trade name. This is like fluoridated modafinil. So like there's Provigil, which is on the market, and that's regulated and scheduled or whatever. And this is an analog of that that is unscheduled.
I can't believe you have the ability to go through all that trouble to get something and then not abuse it. I could never like. If I did that, I would be like, well, how much do I have to take to feel like God?
Well, so I mean, like
is it unabusable?
No, I mean it definitely acts on dopamine, so inevitably it will be habit forming. Like anything that interacts with dopamine is going to be habit forming. But I just know that like if I take it every day and I take a lot of it, eventually I will develop a tolerance, and then it won't do anything for me. So like, why do that?
Yeah.
So. But it also gave me heart palpitations, so I stopped.
That's what happened with buspirone.
Buspirone?
What about
buspirone? Huh?
I got prescribed anti-anxiety meds, but the first day I took them, I had horrible chest pains for 3 hours, and I have no idea if it was related, but I don't ever want to try again because now I have anxiety about the anti-anxiety meds, so I'm never going to take them.
Yeah.
Does your dick work when you?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the weird things about stimulants with me is it always makes me hungrier and hornier, like every single time, and my dick works fine, and I don't know what that means about me, but
wait, like Adderall makes you hungry
and horny, yes.
Adderall makes you hungry?
Yeah,
that's crazy. Horny for me is not that crazy because like I don't know, yeah. But like hungry, that's nuts.
Yeah, well, I mean, with Adderall, it's awesome because it makes you horny and your dick not work. So that's a good mind state to be more, more awake, horny, and dickless.
More awake, horny, and dickless. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it gave me heart palpitations when I took it. Like,
you know what, Michael?
Huh?
Okay.
Buspirone, you should not have chest pains. Like, you should tell your doctor that happened and not take it anymore.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to take it anymore.
Yeah.
But I also don't know if it was the buspirone because it could have just been it could have been so many things. Like I ran 4 miles after I took it, and
Mhm.
I had just drank coffee. So I could have had, it could have been from the coffee or the exercise, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Or it could have been because I just started using an inhaler, which I have to use pretty regularly now. I've gotten so cool since quarantine started. I quit everything cool, and I have an inhaler now.
You have an
So,
inhaler and anxiety
um,
meds. Yeah.
I have an inhaler, anxiety meds. I don't smoke and I don't drink.
And
So
you're like an OnlyFans simp now.
yeah. Oh man, I can't. Yeah, it's pathetic.
Do you?
I do not plan on being a frequent OnlyFans user.
Mhm.
I'm gonna just use my brain to masturbate probably, but I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. When we interviewed or Jaja,
Mhm.
Bleep or Jaja.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
gonna bleep that.
When we interviewed Jaja, she was saying that like a lot of the people that she interacts with online are actually women, so that made me feel better. This is my first foray into like directly paying someone for like use of their online body.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a weird thing because like I feel like it's absolutely more ethical, but like if you are in a monogamous relationship, it feels more like a betrayal.
Yeah, it
I don't
does.
know.
Like when there's that
I don't think so.
social media access element or whatever, it feels weird.
Like even if you're just looking at their photos and not talking to them or anything like that.
No, I mean that's less bad, but like even just like developing, even just like following their Twitter or whatever feels weird to me.
See, okay, yeah, following their Twitter, I agree. But like if you're interacting with them on a personal level and not just using it for the photos, I completely agree.
Yeah.
However, I feel like it's the exact
And
it's
like it's gradation. It's like, well, photos or videos or of what, and like
Do they live nearby?
how much are you paying? Like there's like
Yeah.
it just feels more, it's like more like personal, like
Yeah.
which is like it's a fucked up way that like people, you know, interact with like the porn industry is it's completely impersonal,
Right.
and like there are so
There's-
many more like negative consequences
Right.
to it, but it's
Yeah.
like it's accepted and people like just kind of assume that like that's going to be part of most people's sexuality in some way or another. And then if
I
you
would counter, yeah, I don't know. I would counter that you think that way because we live in a misogynistic world where we view free porn that we get as something that we're entitled to. And
exactly,
like,
that's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
I don't think it's good. I just think like, you know, that is the pervasive culture.
Yeah, I agree, but I also think that that's yeah, I don't think that there is actually anything more personal about paying someone directly to use their like to jerk off to them. I just think it feels more personal because you're used to just having that for free when we shouldn't.
Yeah, no, I don't have a problem with paying for it. It's just it feels weird to have even a one-sided ongoing relationship that isn't just like porn.
Yeah.
I think even if it's not ongoing, I mean, it's like you're paying someone directly for sex work, which is like, I guess it makes way more sense and it's
Right.
way less bad, but just within like the confines of like traditional monogamy or like modern monogamy, it definitely, I think a lot of people would consider it like threatening or a betrayal.
Yeah.
In a way that like interacting with the way worse industry of just like free porn.
If there's
like,
not a middleman taking at least 40%, then it's cheating. There has to be
a man,
a white man profiting. Yeah.
Well, Jeff knows, and he doesn't care.
No, of course. Yeah. No, I'm not. Yeah. No one is talking about. I don't think any of us are worried about you.
Yeah. But also, I wouldn't care if he did, and I'm actually like a jealous, like traditional monogamous person. So I don't know. I would not find it. Maybe because it's like a safe distance, and also I am so confident that none of the women on OnlyFans are gonna like, you know, fall in love with any of the Johns. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's so. I don't know. I think because I cannot imagine anything coming of it. It feels, if anything, like a safe way for someone who is monogamous. It feels like the safest way to, like, I don't know. I guess, explore something, because I feel like porn is, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think it through. I don't think I would mind if Jeff did, but I also feel like maybe the reason I wouldn't mind is because it would kind of turn me on that it was kind of flirting with cheating, but still safely not
Right.
cheating. Does that make any sense? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
What if this hypothetical sex worker, Jeff is a subscriber or whatever, and she like DMs nudes to subscribers every once in a while or something?
That would not bother me. It's the same thing as her posting nudes. I mean, unless it was like, unless they talked. Yeah, if they like talked, if they like DM'd, that's cheating to me.
What if she wrote animated Jeff on her boobs?
That would be
in
so
chocolate sauce. What if she wrote Jeff _ ebooks on her body in chocolate sauce?
That would be too funny. I wouldn't be able to be upset.
Yeah. Oh, it's not. It's yeah. It's not. I'm not jealous if it's funny.
Yeah. If someone does something, yeah. If someone is, God, what did I say to Jeff last night that was so mean? I forgot. I feel like if something's funny enough when you're fighting, then it's fair, even if it's the meanest thing you've ever said.
Is it if you don't take a shower, I'm gonna fuck someone else?
No, that was way meaner than that. It was like, oh, man, I forgot.
You should ask him. I'm sure he remembers.
I'm sure he remembers, but I feel like he's mad at me.
Well, then when you're in that mindset, it's a lot easier to recall things that you were mad about.
That's
before.
True. That's true.
So just ask him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, man, what was it? Anyway, I feel like if something's funny enough, then it's okay, even if it's the meanest thing ever or cheating.
I think that's a good like open relationship rule. It's just like you can fuck whoever you want, but it better be hilarious, or else I'm out. I will drop. Yeah. What is another thing that would be not fine if Jeff did it, but it would be funny, so it would be fine? Can you think of a scenario where it's like he's like into diaper play or something?
Oh, no, that would not be funny.
What if he wasn't into diaper play, but he did it anyway?
Like if he just wore a diaper and in secret from me?
I don't know. What if he filmed himself in a diaper?
Someone else, but he didn't enjoy it. He just felt an obligation to be polite.
I don't know. I can't think of anything like that. Jeff has less of a sex drive than I do, so the idea of him having a fetish is just immediately hurtful to me because I would have wanted to know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like he's not a very sexual person, so I can't imagine him having any funny fetishes. I mean, he's a sexual person. We have sex, but it's not like, yeah.
He's not really there, though.
He doesn't like any weird stuff.
We haven't talked about politics at all. Politics is over. We're done with that. The world's just going to burn now, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we kind of talked about politics.
I guess we talked about the virus.
Yeah.
That's everything now.
Yeah.
Susanna's an organizer now. That's new. That's a new development.
Yeah, I saw her on a DSA call.
Yeah, she's been like actually putting in work, calling people and getting the people to show up, and like I think she had like 16 people that she was supposed to call. She talked to like 8, and then like 4 showed up to the meeting.
Wait, for what?
Just DSA stuff. Like somebody that she like somebody, yeah, somebody that she called is now doing your mutual aid thing, I think.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I understand that there's a certain level of it that's on me, but I also feel like I don't want to bother people who are like already in the midst of like doing stuff that kind of have a certain way that they're already doing it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then being like, I want to get involved isn't even helpful because they've already like.
No, it's helpful because like, I mean, most people suck at things for a long time before they get good at them. And then it's a relief when someone's actually good at stuff. Like, I still suck at a lot of organizational shit, which turns out is very important in organizing. But I've just bugged people so much that I know what I'm doing kind of now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I meant what I said when I said I wanted to get more involved. You can always ask me to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I literally have a phone banking list I'll send you like right after this.
Yeah, I do work like during the day, and it's getting, you know, I'm working more now that we're getting closer to like school starting up again in August, which is crazy. So it's not like I'm, you know, sitting at home doing nothing, but I still have time that I could be devoting.
Do you think school will be in person next year?
That's the plan. Who knows? I mean, I think that they're trying to do this thing, which I think is the dumbest shit in the world, not just because my future kind of is dependent on it, but so they want to possibly, and they don't know, but have school, but not have like aftercare or enrichment, and just have school, which, I mean, I understand that this is not an all or nothing time, and like anything that you can do to mitigate things is going to help the overall caseload of like COVID cases. So I think that like you will, like having kids in school, like without having enrichment activities or athletics, you will have fewer COVID cases from that. So I guess I understand it, but I'm also just like, why are we going to go back to school if we can't just do it all? Like, I wish we could just do it all.
No, yeah, that's a drop in the bucket when you like don't have to have the bucket.
Right, exactly. So anyway, long story short, some schools are considering doing that. We don't know what we're going to do. We're going to follow whatever, you know, whatever everyone else does. And OPSB is still planning on starting in early August. And I don't know if my job is going to be meaningless or not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now they're going to find stuff for me to do. Like they've been, like I've been helping with like the yearbook and stuff that has nothing to do with my job, because I obviously have less to do now that there's no fucking summer camp and yada yada. Some schools are still doing summer camp in June, which is disgusting and insane to me. And yeah, whatever. But I don't know. I mean, after a certain point, if it looks like we're never going to have normal aftercare and enrichment again, my whole department's going to go away. Like it can't not. But they're going to be in a weird position because they don't want to fire me and onboard a new person probably once it does come back. I don't know. If I were them, I would furlough me, but they're not going to do that.
I'm going to bleep that also.
Like,
wait, just bleep furlough though?
Yeah.
So yeah.
If I were them, I would fuck me. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to give them any ideas, you know.
But I don't know. I mean, like I have stuff to do because we're planning as if everything's going to be normal, and I'm trying to get athletics organized for the fall, but no one's responding because no one's at work.
Man, it's gonna be even worse by then, because we're just opening society back up.
Unless like people that are saying that New Orleans is just gonna say mask off, fuck it, like maybe they're wrong and maybe we will close down again and have a second wave, and then we just won't have school at all. Who knows?
Yeah, that's my bet. Or if there is, like, they'll just let people die.
Well, that's what people are saying. They're saying that like they're never going to close anything again. They're just going to let people die from here on out and give up on that.
Dude, America sucks, man.
Yeah.
This is every problem. Like, no other country in the world is just like fine with everyone dying from easily curable things, like gun deaths and fucking car deaths and shit like this. It's like, I can't believe how easy it is for everyone to accept this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like this most places. Like, it is a uniquely American problem to be like, fuck everyone I know for these inconveniences. Honestly, these things that make our lives worse anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one should be allowed to get haircuts ever. I think we should all just grow it out.
I scheduled a virtual
burn down
haircut.
the barbershop, man.
You scheduled a virtual hair. I don't know what is that?
It means that you talk to a professional. I'm spending too much money on it, but I have money right now, so who cares? Jeff and I both have our jobs, and it turns out I spent thousands of dollars every month on alcohol because I have so much money. And I got my Trump bucks. But anyway, so as you can see, my hair is like very long, and I want to do like a shag haircut. So like I'll have like curly bangs, and it'll be more voluminous up top. But
dude, you should do the mullet. That like picture of you with kind of a mullet was tight. I said mullet.
Yeah, I'm gonna. It's kind of like a mullet. It's not quite a mullet, but it's more mullety than my current hair. But anyway, you schedule a phone like Zoom thing with a hairdresser, and I have scissors, like professional hair cutting scissors, and they explain to you what to do, and then you do it on a like what we are doing, except for y'all would be hairdressers, and y'all tell me what to do with my hair, basically. Yeah, so it's just
cut
a way
it all
for you,
off right now.
but it's just a way, because like there's very specific things that people who aren't professionals don't know about how to cut hair, like layering and stuff like that. And especially for my hair, which is like every piece is like a different length, or it would look like shit. So
I just learned what layering is. Somebody should have told me to do that shit in college when I had like a mushroom head.
God, you looked so bad.
I know. Dude, as soon as I switched to short hair, it was like somebody flipped a switch. People were like, stop crossing the street when I was coming down the sidewalk. Fucking.
You looked like a werewolf.
People were like, sup, you know?
Yeah. I remember the first day I met you, like one of the appeals of you to me was like, I must be the only person that finds him handsome because he's a monster. And then I realized that other women also found you handsome, even though you had horrible hair.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. If only they knew I didn't know how to trim my toenails yet. That would have.
Wait, what?
I was basically raised feral. I had two parents, and you know they fed me sometimes and like housed me, and I was fine. But like nobody taught me how to shave. Nobody taught me like how to fucking I just like had to figure it all out. I'm trying to think.
No one taught you how to shave?
No.
No one taught me how to shave, but I had to learn.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I was like this hairy when I was like 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started shaving my legs in 4th grade before I had to. I just wanted to.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, okay. Some moms were weird about that because I guess it means you're like grown up or something.
Wait, weird about what? Sorry.
Your daughter's shaving.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to, and I guess it's pretty self-explanatory, and no one really like walked me through it. But I also feel like even though there's more area, there's a lot less to. I feel like face shaving is probably more complicated because it's your face.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I still fuck it up. I caught myself shaving under the chin last time.
I just don't fuck with blades anymore. I mean, I shave my head, but for my face, I like always break out immediately if I use a blade. So I just use an electric trimmer. So I just always have a little bit of stubble.
Yeah.
So I have that rakish 5 o'clock shadow at all times.
That really cozy sandpaper feel.
Yeah. Yeah. Susanna, I think, likes it aesthetically, but hates how it feels. Yeah.
I'm very feeling bad because I drank too much instant coffee.
Yeah, you seem to be whipping up more when you took the laptop to the.
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had two.
Yeah, that shit is disgusting.
It's delicious, but I feel horrible. I drank too much caffeine.
Do you think the shrooms have anything? Like, do you have nausea? Do you think that's it's part shrooms?
Oh no, I have like coffee headache.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's always good to go into a potential trip with a coffee headache and an upset stomach.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna trip off of those like year-old shrooms.
Nothing that's googly for you?
No,
Yeah.
it won't. I have an iron stomach or body or brain. I don't know.
Got a smooth brain, Mary Devin. You got a real smooth brain. Shrooms just gliding off of
them. I do have a very smooth brain. Thank you. I know that was a compliment, not an insult.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, that's you're younger. You just it makes it's you your brain looks younger than it is. That's a good thing, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, is this the brain of a 12-year-old? It's so smooth. Do you shave your brain?
Oh man, this is probably fine to keep in, but Chris's kid took a shit on the floor today. That is
nice. Where was it?
That is true freedom.
Yeah.
Out of her butt.
Okay, but where in the house?
Oh, okay. It was in the living room. Just took a shit right on the floor.
Why?
I didn't see it. She had to take a shit.
Yeah, I did that as a kid. I like peed on the carpet one time. I don't know why. It's not like I was sleepwalking. And it wasn't like I was like Calvin and Hobbesing it or whatever. I was just like, well, this seems like as good of an idea as any other idea I've ever had. It felt like something within the realm of possibly acceptable things to do. You know. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember the first time you like cursed in front of your parents, like thinking you might get away with it?
No.
No. What about you?
Was it before or after you pissed on the floor in front of them?
Definitely after. We had foul mouths in like elementary school.
Yeah, I did too, but I was really good at like
code switching.
Code switching.
Yeah, we played basketball every morning and talked a ton of shit, and it was just I would be canceled if anyone knew the shit that we said on the basketball court. It was gnarly. Not like the N-word, but you know.
That was where everyone's brain went, by the way.
I know, that's why I specified.
Yeah.
Probably only because there were only white people at my school, because I went to Catholic school in New Orleans or whatever.
That usually does not stop them.
You know what? You're right. To my credit.
Yeah. When would a bunch of white...
we actually said the N-word a lot because there was a lot of black people there and they loved it. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've done this for an hour and a half.
Yeah, for sure. We should wrap it up. Does anybody have anything they want to say to the people?
If I sound like a big pervert, can you get rid of those parts?
You really don't, but
okay.
Yeah.
That's never been a concern on this show.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've said horrible things
sexually
consistently for like over a year.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It has
why go back now?
That's right.
Yeah, nothing to plug, but we should do acid together soon.
Agreed.
All right,
Michael, whenever you want. I still want to I want to guide you into being still an idiot but having done psychedelics.
Perfect. All right, bye everyone.
We love you.
you.
Peace.